Booktok. Yeah, I don't know how to start this. I'm gonna be fully honest. I'm pretty sure that you guys are all wondering like, oh, right, what the hell are you doing? You haven't uploaded a video in probably a year already. And you also never do commentary on anything, ever. And to that I say, nuh-uh. Genuinely don't know how to start this video because, like I mentioned before, I do not post commentary videos, like, ever. I have never done it. I was never good at commentary, so I never did it. But I feel like this is a genuinely, like, misunderstood topic that I have seen many people talk about. So I would like to touch on it, you know, because I feel like many people are not seeing the issue with Booktok. If it isn't clear, this video is about Booktok. There's gonna be, I don't know, there's gonna be a lot of heavy topics in this video. Like, I'm gonna be discussing a lot of really probably heavy and difficult things for certain people. So just in case, I'm gonna, I don't know, editing. Do not mind my laptop. I have a fuck ton of notes that I wrote regarding this topic, and I tend to ramble a lot. Like, I tend to forget what I'm trying to say a lot. So I wrote it all down into like a text so that I can properly explain what I mean and it wouldn't confuse you guys. The first question I'm assuming I'm gonna get is, you know, what is Booktok? And to that I say, it's essentially a community on TikTok. Booktok consists of like multiple people talking about book recommendations essentially. The only issue is that in the most recent years, Booktok is plagued with awful book recommendations. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I said, if you want a more deeper dive onto Booktok, this video is really not for you because I'm not about to deep dive this shit, you know what I mean? Like I said, Booktok is just not something for me. I'm only filming this because I feel like people don't see the issue with Booktok, so yeah. I'm rambling again, aren't I? Essentially, the problem that we have on Booktok is that the books that they are recommending are awful because there's the issue that we have on Booktok is this new genre that they created about, how do I even like explain this? Booktok created a new genre. It's called dark romance. And, you know, any normal person would be like, oh, dark romance, that sounds like romantic stories about like vampires, werewolves, maybe two killers falling in love. That would be the case. But we're talking about Booktok. That's not the case, is what I'm saying. I'm sorry, I'm really fucking dumb today. You can tell I have never recorded a video before this. The point is, dark romance books are essentially books that are plagued with just toxic, really harmful, awful stereotypes. And they they essentially romanticize abusive dynamics. Like, the amount of books on Booktok that I have seen that somehow involve rape or sexual assault, that shouldn't be a thing. They don't just involve rape or sexual assault, they involve abuse, they involve incest, they involve stepcest, I think trafficking too, but I'm not sure. The point is, one of the most prevalent topics in dark romance books is that there's a lot of SA surrounding these books, and they romanticize it. Is common sense in the room with it? In this video, I'm essentially just going to be speaking about arguments that I see Booktok people make in defense of Booktok. I'm just gonna be giving my own arguments regarding those. I'm gonna You're gonna see. One of the arguments that I have seen that has been mentioned really, really often is other SA survivors read the books and like them. So it's not harmful to SA survivors. And to that I say, sexual assault survivors can like these books. That's not the issue that I have with them. The problem isn't that the topics of rape, sexual and physical assault, and stalking and kidnapping too, come up in these books. It's that they're not properly represented. Like, not at all. Not only that, but they're marketed as romance. They're marketed as something desirable, as something, as love, essentially. This wouldn't be an issue if these topics wouldn't be romanticized and instead would be represented as violence and its damning consequences. These topics should be in the genre of psychological horror, or just horror in general, not romance. These books aren't just harmful to sexual assault survivors that have been through something similar, but to other people as well. These topics are romanticized. The fact this genre is called dark romance proves it enough on its own. There's an argument that is given in response to my argument that these books are still harmful despite some SA survivors reading and enjoying these books. And it's all just fiction. Just because I read that doesn't mean I want that to happen to me. Yes, it's fiction. But fiction is often exactly what conditions us. The more you consume of this kind of content, the more the line between reality and fiction starts to blur. You won't notice until it's too late and those two completely bleed into one another. You need to be able to balance it out. Conditioning is literally what helps us grow into an adult as children. That's why children's books often preach good morals, like being kind or working hard. Now, this argument is obviously only for like those Booktok girlies that are like, oh, I can't read a book without smut. Yikes. Moving on. Another argument that I've seen really, really often on this, like, discourse is smut the issue? And to that I say, no, it isn't. Not really, at least. It depends on, like, how much smut is in said books and how much the reader consumes it. If you find yourself literally being unable to read a book that doesn't have smut in it, you have a serious problem. It usually foreshadows a type of porn addiction at that point. If you balance out healthy smut with other genres and find stability between those two, then be my guest. Like, seriously. Because I personally despise purity culture with all my heart. Goon to your liking. Just ensure it's consensual, stable, and safe. I really don't have very much to say on this topic. I feel like I made myself pretty clear with those few points, but I would like to expand on my previous points a bit further anyway, because I have a lot to say. I'm a yapper. I'm a yapper at heart, bro. The reason I believe these books can genuinely become a bigger problem for society, especially women, is because these books, as previously mentioned, condition people. They put abuse, rape, sexual assault, kidnapping, incestuous relationships, stalking, and obsessive behaviors on a pedestal. They put it in the spotlight, as though it were romance to be admired and craved. It slowly but surely conditions women into misogynistic beliefs all over again. Not only that, but then there's an even bigger problem. It reinforces the violent, misogynistic beliefs of men. Incel men will take these books as an example of women wanting to be stalked. They'll say that women secretly crave obsessive and violent behavior. They'll say that they want to be raped. That will undeniably have horrible consequences on both young, growing men and women in general. These books indirectly put everybody in our society in possible future danger. Not only do they romanticize rape, sexual assault, kidnapping, abuse, etc., but they also romanticize incest, which I'm especially mad about. Incest is another form of sexual trauma, another form of deep and possibly lifelong suffering, and I cannot fathom how these people dare to romanticize, normalize it, like it's nothing. It boils my blood to the fucking core to sexualize something so deeply traumatizing, something so genuinely disturbing that happens way too often to real life people is completely and utterly disgusting to me. It further cements my opinion of this very unfortunate excuse for a fandom. I can almost smell certain people in my comments still trying to fight against the idea that it conditions people. And to that I say, did your brain stop developing at the age of 10? Because I have an incredibly personal experience with one of these Booktok gooners. I'm not going to go too into detail, but I had met a girl who genuinely enjoyed Haunting Adeline. Which, if you don't know what kind of book that is, it's a book in which the sad excuse of a male lead is repeatedly raping a girl in her own apartment. Did I mention he was a stalker too? She was so desensitized to the book's contents that she tried to play it off when I attempted to call out the book and author. She defended it, in fact. Mind you, this girl was around my age, and I am 15 years old. Do you see how it does condition people slowly but surely? Yes, we are indeed talking about a teenager in this case, but grown people can be conditioned too. In this case, this girl tried to show this shit to me, and even my girlfriend. This girl tried to indirectly condition us into liking this absolute bullshit. So, I'm sure you're asking me, who's at fault for this? Is it the authors of these books? Or the readers? And in my personal opinion, it's both. Let me explain why I think that. The authors are responsible for the conditioning. They're absolutely largely at fault for the romanticizing of trauma and reinforcing misogynistic beliefs. They're also at fault for not properly portraying these traumas, like, at all. In my opinion, the readers are also at fault. Most of the Booktok fandom, from what I've seen, are adult women, typically in their early to late 20s. Sometimes they're middle-aged. In my opinion, they're just as much at fault, because these are grown adult women! They usually have a family, have a stable job, and sometimes even have children. They're adults! And adults are supposed to be responsible enough to be able to tell when a book is written with clearly misogynistic and very harmful ideologies. They should be able to see where the line between fiction and reality blurs, where fiction becomes dangerous to their surrounding people. Now that we have the more heavier and genuinely, problematic topics out of the way, I guess I can just yap now. Because I did write down in my notes that I also wanted to talk about Colleen Hoover. Specifically we laughed at our son's big balls part in one of her books. Yes, it's a very big and largely memed on, thankfully, point amongst TikTok, and I don't know if you've seen it before or not, but if you did, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I only wanted to talk about it because I'm pissed the fuck off. I can't lie. I feel genuinely insulted by this. So to explain, I'm a writer. I write books and yeah, all of that stuff. And that's why I usually understand how to properly write an emotional scene that is essentially a, calm before the storm kind of thing. What I believe Colleen Hoover was trying to achieve with that fucking sentence, with that god-awful scene. Oh, wait, sorry, I forgot to mention it. I don't know, if you haven't seen the scene, it's essentially, I'm not gonna get too into, the previous story because it's really fucking bad, but, okay, so two dudes, no, Mpreg is not real, right? Essentially, one couple, the woman got pregnant, so this is a scene right after she had given birth already. They are driving back to their house, and the woman is talking about something along the lines of oh, he's got your eyes. And the man, of course the man, goes oh, well, the only thing he got from me is my balls. And the woman is like, yeah, they're so huge. And there's a sentence that's like, we laughed at our son's big balls. And right after that sentence, they get into a deathly car crash that kills their baby. I just can't do this. Why am I commenting on this? I wanted to express my frustration with that scene. Because it just implies that Colleen Hoover fucking sucks at writing, and the people that enjoy her books are enjoying absolute slob. Her writing is not good. This is not good writing. I'm so fucking serious when I say this. Okay, I might be biased when I say that, but her writing is genuinely bad. I know how these kinds of things work, or at least I think I do, because I've been doing this shit for like, maybe like 3 years already. I've been doing this shit for 3 years. I've been like actually experimenting with these things. I like to think that I know exactly how to write a calm before the storm scene. Like, I'm sorry, but Colleen Hoover is not a good writer. This shit is ass! I just wanted to complain about Colleen Hoover. Then there's also Haunting Adeline. Can't really say much about Haunting Adeline because I didn't read it. I would never read that bullshit. But I have listened, I've like taken a look at some of the reviews on the book. I've taken a look at some of the deep dives that certain YouTubers did. And personally, it's so ass. Genuinely, it's bad writing. The male lead, from what I remember, is some kind of hacker that seeks out predators and I think reports them or kills them. I genuinely don't know. Like, I just remember that there was some bullshit about the like male lead being written as a good person because he is a predator murderer. And to that I say, just because you do the god work, like the godly work of murdering predators, does not make you a good fucking person. This guy is a rapist, a repeated rapist. He seeked out a victim, started stalking her, and then started breaking into her apartments repeatedly to rape her. That is a fact. She said stop. There's literally, in the book, she multiple times said stop and no, and he kept going. He kept raping her. That's what it is. It's rape. If you don't agree with that, me personally, I think you should go to fucking therapy. Speaking of therapy, I have seen people multiple times say that these books are therapeutic to them and that their therapist recommended them, these books. And to that I say, no the fuck they aren't. You're fucking lying in my opinion. Like, I'm sorry. Okay, I shouldn't say that. You're not lying, but like, I don't believe you at all. I don't believe you one bit. Now, me personally, this is a bit sensitive information, this might be too TMI, but like, I'm in therapy. I have been in therapy for like 4 years. I've been doing this shit for way longer than I probably should at my age. But like, when I say that I don't believe you, it's because I know that no good, reasonable therapist in their right fucking mind would give you the recommendation of using one of these books to cope. I know I'm correct. I understand psychology probably better than most of these Booktok gooners do. This is not a good or healthy coping mechanism. You are a survivor of these things. You are romanticizing them. That's not a good thing to do. This will harm you more. Like, genuinely, it will harm you more. Okay, well, I kind of already told you all of the points I wanted to tell you. So, I guess this is the end of the video. Honestly, I thought that the recording of this video would take me a lot longer, but I'm really happy it didn't, thank God. I guess take my words with a grain of salt, because 1, I'm a minor, and 2, I didn't do as much of a deep dive as other YouTubers may have done, because I simply don't have the time for that. I have school, I have a fuck ton of like work to finish. I just don't have the time for that, and I don't have the energy for that. I don't care too much about Booktok, but it just really, really annoyed me that people don't seem to realize what the problem is. Like, it really annoys me that there are YouTubers out there, like, okay, for example, Funky Frog Bait. And listen, this is not a dig at Funky Frog Bait at all. I love their videos. I love their content. They usually have super good takes, genuinely. But the video that they made about Booktok was a miss, in my opinion. I'm sorry, it was a miss. But honestly, I can't exactly blame them. I still found it honestly really educational. Like, the thing that they did with the, where they brought a person who specializes in erotica books, and they explained like the history of erotica books, that was super educational. I didn't know that shit, honestly. I thought that was so cool. They covered the basics of Booktok, but I don't think that they really did a deep dive on dark romance specifically. I believe that if they had done a genuinely deep take on dark romance, they would probably agree with me, in my opinion. Like, I feel like I made some pretty reasonable statements. If there's gonna be some kind of Booktok person in my comments saying like, oh, don't yuck our yum, I'll just say to that, shut the fuck up. Like I said multiple times already, I don't fucking care about you people. You guys are grown adults. I'm making this video because I think very specific parts of your fandom are really fucking stupid. That's the end of the video. I don't know what else to say, so I guess all I can say is thank you for watching this, like, randomly put up video that I decided to make. Yeah. I guess I'm gonna disappear for another year now. Well, let's see! Goodbye, guys! Thank you for watching. That's been everything.